So for someone who's listening to this and they said to themselves, I'm really inspired by Brad's story and how he thinks, how fast he thinks. So what's one thing you would say for them?
5 o'clock.
Hey, if you just take this one little nugget and then start practicing that as a atomic discipline that you take on.
Write everything down. So I'll show you guys something. I have a very specific notebook that I buy. It's called Ecolo. It's a gilded 256-page notebook. And these are all my notebooks for the last 3 years. I don't know if you can see the dates.
Whoa.
That's everything from 2017 to I just opened a new one today. And I write everything down. This is every interview, every meeting, every sales call, everything with the dates. And I make sure that I write it down because I ingrain it in my brain that way. I'm a visual person. If you tell it to me and I don't write it down, I'll forget it. I'll even do this with I have a little moleskin that I walk around with when I'm at meetings and stuff. And I'll just make sure that I've written everybody's name down because otherwise I'll forget because it's not on their freaking forehead. I'll tell you that much. And if you told it to me and I forget, I apologize, but I do my very best to work in the medium that I'm understanding. So like visual, auditory, kinesthetic, you got to learn your learning style and then play to your strengths. For me, it's all visual. I got to write everything down. So these notes are everything for me. And then when I go through a book, I'll take a few minutes and I'll just flip through it and I'll mark any pages where there's something that might be valuable in the future. And I'll put like a little, note or clip it or write it down again, just to remind myself of it, review it. I'll put a paper clip or fold the page, whatever it is, just whatever your system is that works. And I write notes everywhere. I write notes online, offline. The physical writing act has been so valuable for me. And I have a 5-minute journal as well. So I do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And I switch it up too. I don't keep my morning routine the same. So there's like that, there's meditation, there's exercise, there's all these different pieces, incantations, running. There's all these things I do just to put myself in the right frame of mind so that I can learn my best. I can be my best and I can do my best for myself. And that's a little bit of a quiz. You have to figure out for yourself what your best way to do it is, but I can give you a few ideas.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's talk about that for just a moment, if you don't mind, because you're talking to someone who's a geek about workflow as well. I realize that for me, I take notes constantly, but that's my attempt to capture a stream of consciousness effectively. How do I package up my stream of consciousness? What I realized though is I rarely revisit the notes that I made. So it's valuable, the fact of writing it down, but the actual physical artifact of it was actually not very useful, right? And then I came across this interesting idea called intermediary packets. So Google it if you want. And in it, they were saying how in computer science, they write these subroutines as a way to, you don't need to continue to write code from scratch. You can just reuse these subroutines as a way to accelerate the creative process doing computer programming, right? So similarly, what if you have ideas that you can pull out that's already developed in its own subroutine form called intermediary packets, then you can very quickly build holistic ideas, right?
Or mental models.
Yeah, right. So exactly. So that's one form of intermediary packets. So there's this guy, he wrote a beautiful book called How to Take Smart Notes, I believe. That's what it's called. And they were essentially making a documentary of this guy's method of workflow. In his lifetime, he was not a learned man. And then in his lifetime, he became a sociology professor. He wrote 60 academic books. He wrote 600 academic papers.
Oh my God.
It's insane how prolific this guy was.
I read 600 academic papers, let alone write them.
Yeah, right. And then, but here's the thing. He didn't just write those books in one topic. He wrote about society, relationships, on money, just a wide variety of topics. Point being, this method, note-taking, is such a beautiful skill to have in a way to package your consciousness into something that someone else can use.
Absolutely. Well, and this is how ideas are genesis. This is the genesis and origin of all ideas. It's like, how do we make the experience of taking notes even better? So like Evernote got a piece of it right, and Google Drive got a piece of it right. They have that app that Evernote bought called Scannable. You can scan your notes. That's really helpful. And then you can search your own text. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Geeked out on all these Rocket notebooks. The one where it's like the special ink that you put in you upload it to the cloud, and then you microwave the book itself, and it deletes all the ink, and you start over. Like I was geeking out on that for a while. And then eventually I settled on my tried and true favorite, which is my little physical books. They fit in my notebook. They fit wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
And I geek out on that. And then my other system is, I'll just give a little extra value here. My index cards. So I got this from Tim. Write your priorities on an index card, no more than 3 to 5 every day, and rip it up at the end of the day. And then if it's longer term than that, and it's a project or something I got to look at later, I have Post-it notes, and I have a system for my Post-it notes. These are industrial grade, extreme sticky Post-it notes. They work on freaking brick and drywall and anywhere you want to put them, and they unstick and restick. So I use them as
What are the names for those Post-its?
So these are called extreme Post-it notes. They're made by Extreme.
Got it. Right.
They're just really high quality material. And what I do is I have 3 different codes for myself, right? So if it's green, it means I'm doing it myself and nobody's going to help me. If it's yellow, it means I'm collaborating with somebody, but I'm still involved. And then if it's orange, it means I'm delegating it completely. So I might have a meeting about it, but it's off my plate completely. So, and then I know based on how many green, yellow, or orange Post-it notes, I can give myself a quick grade visually on like how much am I delegating versus how much am I actually taking on myself, and adjust accordingly. Because that's another thing I learned from Nathan Hirsch. He's a big VA guy. He built a huge 8-figure company off the back of VAs, no paid advertising, and sold it. And he says he will never do anything for more than 90 days before he outsources it. That's his time limit. He's got to figure out a way to outsource it in 90 days or less.
I love that. I'd love to interview that guy.
I'll introduce you. He's awesome.
Yeah, very good, man. Check out this tool. So for the listeners, this is a tool that I geek about these days called Rome Research. Let me tell you why I love it right now. Part of the issue, I try a number of different ways to capture my consciousness, right? All kinds of different experiments. I even built my own website as a way to try to track my ideas very freely. The problem is bidirectional linking. So whenever I take notes, that's that. It's a holistic thing. If I want to take on another project, another idea, I need to start from scratch again, right? What Rome did to me was really revolutionary, actually. It's so simple, but so revolutionary is you can link documents to documents very easily, very effortlessly. And they also allow you to see the graphical, imagine there's a network in front of you, a neural net in front of you. You can see the intersections of all your ideas. You can find those things yourself. You can also see it. They will also suggest the linkage that it has for you. And if you think about the nature of creativity is in the intersection of ideas, that to me is a beautiful feature. So that's what
like a mind map on steroids.
Totally.
Yeah, I want you to check it out, Rome Research. Yeah. You reminded me of another one that I've used with some success called Workflowy.
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
Yeah. So Rome Research has a Workflowy interface.
Oh, cool.
So it's very easy to use. Anyways, check it out. You'll love it.
I don't want to overload people with stuff. I just give you 2 examples and options that I use that are very effective, because it's not about doing more stuff. It's about doing the right stuff at the right time consistently. So totally. I tell all my clients and everybody, like, if you can do 3 things that actually move the ball forward, they're actually high impact every single day, even if you only work 5 days a week, that's 750 things a year that are actually moving the ball forward in your business or in your life. And if you just did that, you'd be way more productive than 95% of other people out there, hands down. And then anything else you get done is a bonus. But those 3 things, as long as you're consistent about those. So I don't take calls in the morning. I don't talk to anybody until my 3 things are done. And I typically write them out the night before. I'm just dead to the world. And then that's how I maintain productivity. That's how I keep all my projects moving. That's how I write books so fast. That's how I get it done, because I block the time. I do it when I'm fresh. So then anything like errands, either it's off my plate completely or it's at the very end of the day. You know, I don't do shopping for myself anymore. I don't do errands for myself anymore. I don't do my own laundry or it didn't start out that way. I didn't have the budget for it, but now that I have the budget for it, I'm absolutely going to get all that stuff off my plate. That's just not high impact.
Love it.